everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's got everything: international intrigue, last-minute drama, and a full-blown war of words. The setting: the prestigious Oxford Union. The topic: a highly charged debate on India's policy towards Pakistan. But what was supposed to be a battle of wits descended into a complete farce, with accusations flying from all sides. Let's unpack what really happened. The debate, scheduled for November 27th, was on the motion: the House believes that India's response to Pakistan is a populist strategy sold as security policy. It was meant to be a showdown, a rigorous intellectual exchange. But just hours before it was set to begin, the entire event imploded. What followed was a public blame game, with Indian Speaker J Sai Deepak and the Pakistan High Commission in London offering two completely different versions of the story. So, who's telling the truth? Let's start with the Indian side's perspective, laid out in detail by advocate J Sai Deepak on social media. According to him, the whole affair was rocky from the very beginning. He pointed out potential conflicts of interest right within the Oxford Union's leadership, noting that the president, Musa Haraj, is allegedly the son of Pakistan's Minister of Defense Production, and the treasurer, Razan Azhar, is also a Pakistani national. This, he suggested, set a questionable stage for a supposedly neutral debate. The Indian team had already faced its own challenges. The original high-profile speakers, including former Army Chief General Naravane and Dr. Subramanian Swamy, had to pull out just 2 days before the event due to unavoidable commitments. This sent the organizers scrambling for replacements. J Sai Deepak, who was already prepared to argue India's case, stepped up and quickly brought two UK-based speakers on board, Manu Khajuria and Pundit Satish K. Sharma. Despite the last-minute changes, the Indian side was ready to go. Then, on the day of the debate, the real chaos began at 3:13 p.m., just hours before they were supposed to be on stage. Deepak received a call. He was told that the Pakistani delegation, which included prominent figures like former Foreign Minister Haina Rabbani Kar and Defense Minister Khawaya Mohammed Asif, had not even landed in London yet. Believing the event was off, the Indian team, who were en route, decided to turn back and abandon their journey to Oxford. It seemed like a simple, albeit frustrating, logistical failure. But the story takes a bizarre twist here. Deepak claims he later received confirmation that the Pakistani delegation had, in fact, landed and was already checked into a hotel in Oxford. This new information completely changed the narrative. From a logistical hiccup, it suddenly looked like a deliberate no-show. Deepak didn't hold back. He unleashed a blistering attack, accusing the Pakistani side of deserting the battlefield even before the battle begins. He suggested they lacked the courage to face a live, unscripted debate and had orchestrated the entire situation to avoid a direct confrontation. He didn't stop there. He also took aim at the Oxford Union's leadership, criticizing them for allowing the prestigious institution to be, in his words, dragged in muck and effectively become a mouthpiece for the Pakistan High Commission. His narrative paints a picture of a well-planned Pakistani gambit to sabotage the debate while making the Indian side look like they backed out. This sentiment was echoed by others, including Indian lawmaker Priyanka Chaturvedi, who tweeted, "Pakistan is crying again over an Oxford Union debate. Once again, they have proved to be liars." Now, let's look at the other side of the coin. The Pakistan High Commission in London released its own statement, and it tells a completely different story. According to them, it was the Indian delegation that withdrew at the last minute. They framed this withdrawal as a walkover for the Pakistani side. Their statement lamented the collapse of the debate and suggested that the Indian side's last-minute pullout showed a lack of confidence in their ability to defend India's security policy. in what they called a neutral and intellectually rigorous debate. So, we have two diametrically opposed accounts. One side claims the other faked a travel delay to avoid the debate. The other side claims the first team simply got cold feet and backed out. The Pakistan High Commission's statement conveniently listed the original, high-profile Indian speakers who had already withdrawn days earlier. Perhaps to make the Indian withdrawal seem more significant, it completely ignored the replacement team that was ready and willing to participate, the Oxford Union. The very institution at the center of this controversy has been conspicuously quiet. Their silence leaves a massive vacuum, which is being filled with accusations and speculation. Was it a case of organizational incompetence? Were they misled by one side? Or, as Sai Deepak alleges, was there a deliberate effort by a compromised leadership to facilitate a Pakistani narrative? This incident raises serious questions about the integrity of such debates at even the most esteemed institutions. When a platform like the Oxford Union becomes the stage for what looks less like a debate and more like a political maneuver, it undermines its very purpose. The goal of these events is to foster dialogue and understanding, not to provide a platform for scoring cheap political points through no-shows and misinformation. What was meant to be a clash of ideas on a critical issue of national security turned into a public relations battle fought on social media. The truth of what happened in those crucial hours on November 27th likely lies somewhere in the tangled mess of phone calls, travel schedules, and conflicting statements. But one thing is clear. The real loser here was the opportunity for open and honest dialogue. Instead of a debate, we got a farce. Instead of intellectual exchange, we got public recrimination. It is a shame that an opportunity for two sides to engage on a contentious topic was squandered in such a dramatic and, frankly, messy fashion. It leaves a sour taste and highlights the deep-seated mistrust that continues to plague relations, extending even to the halls of academia. What do you guys think? Who do you believe? Was this a clever gambit, a massive failure of organization, or a simple case of one side losing its nerve? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories making headlines. See you in the next one.